Finished? Are we finished? Finished, great. So we close the voting. 38% say 86 is the right answer. Yes, congratulations, you are right. 86 is the correct answer if you just look at the official languages. And if you don't count the Caucasus region, the Caucasian region, among European countries. It is right, 86. 25% said 143, which is right too, because this is the correct answer if you say official languages plus all the varieties. And 225 would be also correct if you count the Caucasus region, Caucasian region among European countries, and if you count official languages and varieties. So you can see what a variety. Wow, so many, exactly, so many languages in Europe and so many cultures. Of course, we can understand that there have always been conflicts. Yes, so let's go back to our slides. So anyway, the Language Policy Division in Strasbourg is committed to plurilingualism and pluriculturalism. Let me just explain the terms plurilingualism and pluriculturalism. Sometimes you can also hear the terms multilingual or multilingualism. So multilingualism would describe a society in which various languages exist side by side, but sort of isolated from each other, whereas an individual is plurilingual if he or she speaks two or more languages. And the same is true of pluriculturalism. A pluricultural individual has competence of two or more cultures, and a multicultural society would mean a society in which more than one culture exists. And that we owe for instance, the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages to the Language Policy Division in Strasbourg. And alongside with the Common European Framework of Reference, also the European Language Portfolio was developed and recommended by the Council. Now, the ECML in Graz has a partial agreement with the Council of Europe. That means it does not all the Council of Europe member states are members with the ECML. There are just 34 member states, but hopefully there will be more in the future. And the ECML plays a key role in implementing the ideas coming from the Language Policy Division in Strasbourg, putting into practice what the Language Policy Division has come up with. Now, we have already mentioned the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. Here you can see the German version. It was developed it was published in 2001 in the European Year of Languages. The idea and the desire to have a thing like that, a reference system for language, for the description of language proficiency, goes back to the 1970s, when first attempts were made to develop what was called a unit credit system to make language qualifications more transparent across Europe, in order to encourage people to move from one country to another, to work abroad. During the 90s, the Council of Europe developed the Common European Framework, and in parallel with it, the first ELPs. And they were piloted between 1998 and 2000 in 15 European countries. Austria was among them, and by 3 international non-government organizations. And it was quite interesting what they found out, what these early pilot schools and pilot teachers, how they evaluated the project. And they said that if the European language portfolio is central to the learning and the teaching, then it has a great impact, and it may contribute towards the development of learner autonomy. Now, the key features of the European language portfolio. This is one of my favorite. I'm going to use the pointer. My favorite poster, the little kitten sitting in front of the mirror, and the the lion looking back at him or her, and in order to show the inner strengths. It may seem very, very small and very tiny. I do have a cat, yes. And in reality, there is enormous power in this little creature. So the European language portfolio is really a tool for the development of learner autonomy and of developing the goal setting and self-assessment skills. I'll tell you about the learner self-assessment in detail a little bit later on. Anyway, you take checklists. You have checklists which are based on the European common European framework, and you use these checklists in order to evaluate your language proficiency and in order to set your self-learning targets. The European language portfolio was designed by the Language Policy Division in order to promote plurilingualism and pluriculturalism, but it was not developed by the Language Policy Division. They just gave recommendations, they just gave principles and guidelines, and they left it to the ferocious cat. They left it to the member states, to the countries themselves, to develop their own language portfolios, because hoping that people in this country would then identify with this learning tool. Yeah, here you can see just two samples. What is a European language portfolio? You can, at first sight, you will realize it consists of three terms. It's European. Yes, it has this European dimension. It tries to contribute to European identity on the one hand. It has to do with languages, of course. You can describe your language competence, your communicative competence. And it is a portfolio, which means you can collect your best works. You can collect evidence of what you can actually do with a language. Here on the left side, you can see one of the early models. This was the equals portfolio. This is you can also download it from the website of the Council of Europe. You'll get a link list later on, and you can use this as an e-portfolio as well. And the other one on the right side, this is the Austrian version for young adults, 15 plus. And here you can see the language passport, which is a standard format for all the adult portfolios. So you should recognize a European passport at first sight. Now, what are the principles of the European language portfolio? Here you can see the portfolio website, www.coe.int for international/portfolio.